tell you a story about a surgery I had. I had cataract surgery. I had cataract surgery on my right eye. I really needed it. Now this was kind of a long time ago, maybe about 15 years ago. I don't remember exactly. But I had gone in to have my eyes tested, and they said, well, you do have a cataract on your right eye, but your left eye's fine. And I said, oh, okay. And so, I kind of didn't do anything about it. I kind of put it off for a couple of years. And then I actually went to a different eye doctor. I said, oh, you know what? Forget my old doctor. I'm going to try this other place. Why not? And they said, no, you're totally fine. And so I said, oh, okay. I said, well, they said I had a cataract. And they said, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. So a couple more years go by, and I actually went back to my old eye doctor because, why not? And I was talking to them about my eyes, and so they started to explain to me what a cataract is, and they said, some people describe it as your eyes being kind of cloudy. The easiest way actually to show you what the experience of having a cataract is like is I'm gonna show you an example. You see this wax paper here with the little holes cut in it? It's a little bit cloudy, but you can still kind of see through it. That's just an example of what looking through a cataract looks like. And that's what was going on in my right eye. And so I said, okay, fine. So they checked my eyes extensively, and they started asking me questions. And now they've said, you do have a little bit of a cataract in your left eye now. And I thought, God, this is horrible. Are you serious? Like, cataracts in both eyes now? And so they did a lot of extensive testing on my eyes. And at this point, it was really more like a solid sheet of wax paper. There's no little spots to see through. And so, I had full cataracts covering the retinas of my eyes, and then a little bit on my left eye, but my right eye was really bad enough that I really needed surgery. And so I said, okay, well, what can you do? That's life, right? So, I said, well, can I just get away with getting new glasses? And they said, no, you really can't. You have to have surgery for cataracts. And so I just had to accept it. And so in March, I made an appointment to have cataract surgery. And you have a pre-surgical consultation where they explain all the steps and how the surgery is going to go and what you need to do. But they actually transferred me to an ophthalmologist, specialist in cataract surgery. And it was a really wonderful place, and they explained everything in depth, how it was going to go, so I, could maybe let go of some of my fears and apprehensions and really be prepared. And I had to use medicated drops following up to the surgery date. I don't know, 3 or 4 days, and I had to use these drops. Who likes using drops? Eye drops are just terrible. So then the day of the surgery, we were sitting in the waiting room, and everybody was waiting for their turn to be called. And, I was really curious about what it was going to be like, especially watching people go back for their appointments. So they took me to a sort of a prep room, and they gave me a gown, and I was so excited because I got to keep my pants on and I get to keep my bra on. Thank the Lord. I'm going to be comfortable during this surgery. So I've got my gown on over my pants and my bra, and the nurse is putting these eye drops in my eyes to help numb them before the surgery, which, that was interesting. Okay, this feels weird to have numb eyes. That's strange. And so they followed the pre-surgery steps, got me cleaned up, and got me prepped, and they had me in a wheelchair, which, hey, this is fancy living, right? I don't even have to walk myself back to the surgical suite. So they wheeled me back there, and man, this is kind of a swanky hospital. It's really nice in here. You want a clean hospital, right? And they put me in a fancy chair, kind of like a dentist chair, or maybe a barber chair where you lean back. And they've got all these towels and gauze and things on my face, and they've got my eyeball exposed, my eyelids pulled open. And, I looked through again, and they asked me what it was like, and I said, well, it's It's really like looking through the wax paper. And, you know, I mean, obviously you're going to be nervous before a surgery. I mean, they're coming at you with knives and who knows what else. But you know what? This was a super fast surgery. It only took 6 minutes. I couldn't believe that. And, you know, I tried to open my eyes and oh God. So they wheeled me to the recovery room and they left me there until I felt like I could get up, since it was just an inpatient, a little day surgery. Now there was some discharge from my eye after the surgery, of course. So they said, well, it's going to depend. It kind of, depends on your own body. Sometimes an hour, sometimes 2 hours. But I was hungry. You know, you don't eat before surgery. I didn't really have breakfast. I had something to drink, tea or coffee. You know what? I had coffee. Of course it was coffee. And I had a few crackers, but I didn't really eat much. And so after surgery, I was famished. And so I stood up and started to walk around a little bit. And, you know, they told me, your eyes are going to be really sensitive and you have to wear these sunglasses. And I said, no. These are like old folks sunglasses. You know what? I'm just going to show you so you can see how hideous they are. Look at these. Can you believe this? They had me wear those. And I was appalled. So I put them on just to, you know, kind of make them feel better, just to appease the doctors. And they said, your eyes are going to be super sensitive, so make sure you wear these. And I said, okay, you know, I got it, that's fine. Okay, I'm just going to follow your directions until I get to my car, and then I can take them off. So I got into my car, and I tried to, oh no, you know what? That's a terrible idea. I see why they told me to leave the glasses on. So I left my glasses on, and my husband and I went to go get something to eat. And I'm sitting down to dinner, and again, I tried to take those glasses off. And I just couldn't believe how sensitive my eyes were. So, you know, even though they're hideous and I just know everybody in the room was staring at me, although how would I know because I can't see through these glasses, I just had to leave them on and say, you know what, forget you guys. I just had surgery. So I ate my dinner and, you know, you'd think I would learn by now, but whatever. I tried to take them off anyway. Once again, it didn't work. So we went home, and when I got home, you know, around afternoon, tried to take them off again, and it was the same thing. They just are too sensitive. So finally at night, you know, it was dark, the sun had thankfully gone down, and I was able to take my glasses off, and I thought, okay, this isn't too bad. I can do this. Things look a little bit more clear, but you know, my left eye was still bothering me. You know, and it didn't, my right eye, everything was clear and shiny and it felt fresh and new, but that left eye was just not where it should have been. So on my follow-up appointment, so in the morning, or they had told me during my surgery for 2 weeks, I couldn't rub my eyes, I couldn't put on makeup, I had to be careful when I washed my face, which, you know, is weird when you're used to doing all those things. Now you can't. So I went to a follow-up checkup, and they looked at my right eye, and they said, your right eye was perfect. And I said, you know, my left eye is still bothering me. And so they checked my left eye again. And I said, do I need surgery? And they said, yes. So on the paper that I had to fill out for my right eye, I remember at my house I was used to everything where it was in my house. I was used to the layout of my house, but when I would go out into public or different environments, shopping or whatever, it was always difficult to navigate the terrain. Like curbs, I would have to sort of feel around with my foot before I stepped down. And, you know, that's why. Because my eyes were so messed up with the cataracts. And, you know, I knew there was something wrong, but now to have a name and a diagnosis for it, cataracts, that makes so much sense. But my left eye was just still bothering me. And, you know, so when I go to get gas, my gas tank is on the right side of my car. And sometimes I would pull up to the wrong side and I would try to put the gas in a spot where it shouldn't go, and it's so embarrassing. And I would have to hurry up and go back into, the gas station to ask for my cash back so I could leave, because I just wanted to get out of there before too many people noticed what was happening. And I would do stupid stuff like this all the time, and it was because of my cataracts. So the doctor said, well, you're not blind, you just have these cataracts. But now after my surgery, everything's fine. I can walk around, I can navigate the world and not make these mistakes. So then the next day, I went in to have this other surgery on my left eye, and I filled out the paperwork all over again. And, it was the same as before, where you had these pre-surgical things and all the rules to follow, just like it was before. And so, this time the wheelchair ride was not really as exciting, but they wheeled me back. And for the second surgery, they were trying to tell me to relax. And, it was just like before. It was a very short surgery, just 6 minutes. And by the time I had finally relaxed, I realized the surgery was already over. So they wheeled me back to recovery, and of course, you've got to wear these hideous glasses again. Oh, thanks. I love these glasses. Can't wait to wear them again all day. But this time it wasn't as bad as it was before. When I had the surgery on my right eye, it was so sensitive because my eye had been so blocked that it wasn't used to the sunlight. And I wasn't used to having such great peripheral vision. People thought I was ignoring them, and I have to say, I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you, I just can't see you. And the reason is these cataracts. But with my left eye, it hadn't been so bad, and so I went back to work after just a couple of days. I still had to take care of my eyes, still had to be careful and not just splash water on my face or rub my eyes. But I could do my normal activities. But I wasn't used to life without glasses. I felt young again. I felt the world was full of promise and everything was shiny and new, and I could see everything except when it came to reading. When you get older, you can't see far away so clearly, and so you'd have to hold papers 3 or 4 feet away from your face unless you want to wear glasses, like reading glasses. And I couldn't use my old glasses anymore after my surgery because I couldn't read. So if I wanted to read, I was going to need whole new glasses. And it was going to cost me about $3,000, $3,000 or $4,000. It depends on the individual to have the surgery to fix that so you don't need glasses. And I was like, you know what? I know a lot of people can't afford that. I can't afford it either. It's fine. I'm just going to get new glasses. So now I have new glasses, and the top half of the lens looks normal, and the bottom half is for reading. They're called bifocals, where you can read using the bottom part of the lens. But you can look over the top and see everything clearly without it bothering you. So, I don't have these silly mistakes anymore from trying to read and from the loss of vision that my cataracts caused. And after my cataract surgery, I have a new outlook on life. And that's my story.
That was